Hi everyone, hello and welcome. This is a presentation by myself, Jolie Kennedy, and my colleague, Hope Sun. We're going to be talking today about inviting AI as a collaborator, new perspectives on TPACK. So let's get started. The agenda for today, we're going to start with a brief introduction. We'll talk about the TPACK framework, and then we're going to dig right into Gen AI as a peer reviewer, as an idea generator and content generator, and we'll be including some examples from our courses that we've implemented this idea in as well. And then we'll wrap it up. We'll talk about further research implications and challenges, and then we'll conclude with some questions, okay? So let's just jump right in. We'll talk about the introduction and TPACK framework. Unless you've been under a rock, you've heard about AI, right? That's probably why you're here. AI, everything, everywhere, all at once, all the time. The educational technology world is just abuzz with exciting developments in the age of AI. Mishra War and Islam pointed out this feverish discourse on AI, both proponents and opponents of this new transformative technology. So while both sides might represent valid arguments and perspectives, it's essential that educators and teacher educators in particular experiment with Gen AI to explore possibilities in order to both model and prepare the next generation of teachers and teacher educators. AI is so popular, it's a word in Merriam-Webster. It's defined as an artificial intelligence that's capable of generating new content, such as images and text, in response to a submitted prompt like a query by learning from large reference database of examples. So in this work today, Gen AI is explored for its value to support creative and critical thinking by using Gen AI as a peer reviewer, idea generator, and content generator. So in the context of TPACK, as a scaffold for framing meaningful and thoughtful uses of Gen AI for teaching and learning, possibilities for new and innovative pedagogical strategies will be explored. So Gen AI is posed to disrupt many knowledge working careers and educational content areas that are the foundations of these positions. So therefore, the impact of Gen AI will reach across all content areas. As such, TPACK is positioned to be a really useful and familiar construct with which teachers and teacher educators can use to conceptualize the integration of Gen AI into teaching practices and educational technology uses and learning design. So technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge is a framework developed by Mishra and Kohler to describe the knowledge that educators use in the practice of teaching. So it's a framework that builds upon the work of Schulman's original concept of pedagogical content knowledge by adding that technological component to it. And then more recently, a contextual component has been integrated into the framework as well as a sociocultural element. The TPACK framework is a dynamic construct that captures the connections, interactions, affordances, and constraints between and among content, pedagogy, and technology. So technological knowledge describes the knowledge of a variety of different educational technologies. As an educator develops technical knowledge with a multitude of different technologies, they often develop the ability to become a fast learner of new technologies. And then pedagogical knowledge describes the strategies toolbox that expert educators develop over time. So teachers often pick up new strategies from their colleagues, professional development workshops, online resources, and many more places so that their pedagogical knowledge evolves as their strategies toolbox grows. And then content knowledge describes the expertise that an educator develops in their field of study. So in many areas, content is always evolving and requires an educator to keep their finger on the pulse of the field by engaging in professional conferences, attending professional development webinars, reading journal articles about trends in their field. So as an educator's knowledge of technologies and pedagogies and content expands and contracts based on each unique teaching and learning situation. This dynamic, expanding and contracting nature of the framework makes it particularly useful as a scaffold for thinking about integrating Gen AI into teaching practices across a variety of content areas and through a variety of pedagogical strategies as well. So as Gen AI ascends, TPACK is emerging as an influential lens to support this technological adoption. So applying TPACK as a knowledge framework when inviting AI as a collaborator in on-campus and online classrooms and higher ed provides structure for meaningful technology integration and thoughtful learning design, which are essential for impactful pedagogical practices in the age of AI. To support self-evaluation and fosters learners' development of self-regulated learning skills, Gen AI can be used as a collaborative peer reviewer to gather initial feedback and insight on student work. For example, students can use ChatGPT, Copilot, or Claude to request feedback on their work. So in this way, learners gain experience in prompt engineering, AI literacy, and critical thinking as they analyze the responses and outputs and determine how to integrate the feedback. So in a specific example, in a Media Literacies in Emerging Technologies graduate course, students are asked to complete a post-human exercise in which they identify a moment when they are engaged with technology. So it could be surfing, book talk, food talk, teacher talk, fitness influencers on Instagram, YouTube background music for studying, YouTube food vlog, YouTube shorts, Facebook scrolling, whatever they want to choose. So in order to observe the event with a focus on how they are relating with the technology in that moment, specifically the interrelations of mind, body, time, space, sociocultural, and technological. So then, in the second step, learners draft a narrative summary of their lived experience, invite AI as a collaborative peer reviewer to offer feedback on their work. So students are encouraged to experiment with different Gen AI applications and prompts to explore and consider the different responses and outputs. So for example, students can prompt for specific feedback on an area they'd like to improve by requesting a list of edits to structure, clarity, or grammar, while also prompting to not revise their natural voice. So in the final reflection, then learners are guided to consider their own experiences of learning with and through emerging media and Gen AI, to think critically and creatively about how they might use these technologies in the future in their personal lives or in their own professional practice, specifically strengthening their own self-regulated learning skills and AI TPACK, which builds a layer of AI into the technological knowledge of the TPACK framework. So while initial student reactions and responses have been really positive, a lot more research is needed towards the design of an AI TPACK assessment instrument and dashboard to measure educator knowledge elements and provide feedback for professional development. Gen AI can be used as an idea generator in all aspects of TPACK, including ideas for technological applications, pedagogical approaches, and content ideas. So for example, to support creative thinking and seminar style pedagogical approaches, Gen AI can be used to gather information for brainstorming and exploring multiple perspectives. In a graduate course on assessing learning in digital environments, students are guided to use a variety of resources, including ChatGPT, Copilot, or Claude, to gather information and ideas for formative and summative assessments, new technologies, and participatory approaches for their content area, assessment, design, and development projects. So scholars are beginning to share useful AI prompts for teaching, which can be customized for unique contexts, kind of like open educational resources. So for example, students can be guided to compare and contrast outputs from various Gen AI sources for divergent and convergent thinking towards creative solutions. So given this potential of Gen AI to reshape workplace roles, AI literacy is rapidly becoming a necessary professional skill. Learners really need experience in accessing Gen AI applications, practicing prompt engineering, and experimenting with follow-up questions to refine the desired output. So conversing with Gen AI for idea generation and creative thinking is an essential knowledge that permeates all aspects of TPACK. Scholars have explored the influence of Gen AI on creativity, specifically for use with divergent and convergent thinking and design, inspiration, and experimentation within the creative process. So the scholarship in Gen AI and creativity is growing, which is great. It's coming from mixed perspectives, focused on the potential risks of AI for limiting creativity, also to the possibilities for enhanced creativity by embracing new models of human AI co-creation. So a lot more research is needed in the human AI co-creativity to harness that potential of AI for creative problem solving while also mitigating the risks to human ingenuity. So additionally, to support Gen AI as an idea generator, educators might continue to expand the open sharing of prompt engineering to foster collaboration, collegiality, in support of continued growth for AI integration in educational settings. An abundance of Gen AI applications are rapidly emerging to support content generation. Scholars have described this burst of AI-powered technology systems as a Cambrian explosion. Teachers can generate lesson plans and educational materials from ChatGPT, Copilot, Claude, Conmigo, Magic School, and more. So in addition, technologies for teaching and learning are beginning to integrate AI elements into their applications as well. So for example, Canva has integrated AI tools for design and image generation. Technology applications for AI-generated multimedia are also burgeoning, with options for integrating AI images, video, and voice. So for example, with DALL-E, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, Synthesia, and InVideo, teachers and learners can create images and videos from text. AI voice generation tools like TextMagick, Natural Reader, and Speechify offer free online text-to-speech tools that can be downloaded and integrated into online presentations. So really far beyond lesson plans, Gen AI as a content generator can be used across all content areas. So for example, in a graduate level business and marketing course, ChatGPT and Copilot were used to generate digital marketing plans through an assignment that guided learners to develop AI fluency and literacy through practicing prompt engineering. So in this activity, students actively participate in exploring and evaluating various prompt strategies using ChatGPT or Copilot. Students wrote a prompt to generate a digital marketing plan. Next, they revised the plan by instructing the AI tool to modify, correct, or produce a different output by using prompts to generate a different example, simplify explanations, or break the plan into smaller steps. So through a series of prompt iterations, students documented their interactions, generated logs, and engaged in reflective exercises while they evaluated the effectiveness of the prompt and quality of the AI outputs. So specific reflective exercises focused on whether expected results were achieved, the strategies employed, the successes, and the areas where AI excelled, and instances when AI performed less effectively. So students then shared their digital marketing plans and collaborated with course colleagues for review, feedback, and revision. Gen AI is a peer reviewer, idea generator, and content generator are three easy entry points for educators to begin experimenting with Gen AI for their own practice, to introduce students to AI, to begin building fluency and literacy, and to begin engaging with a variety of Gen AI tools. So the TPACK model really offers a nice scaffolding framework for educators to consider how their knowledge of technologies and pedagogies and content might be developed based on evolving trends in Gen AI. So currently the literature that frames AI research through the lens of TPACK is really quite limited, with early adopters researching ethical integration, AI teaching competencies, and the relation among knowledge elements. So really a lot more further research on Gen AI in teaching contexts is needed. Specifically, research representing a broader range of methods and theoretical grounding is needed, in addition to greater inclusion of the voices of educators who are engaging with Gen AI in their teaching practices. So a primary implication of inviting Gen AI as a collaborator is the possibility for profound transformation of pedagogical practices and enhanced practical application of technologies for teaching and learning. Scholars have called for educators to share their AI experiences and scholarship of teaching and learning to create a network of ideas and methods and tools and approaches for AI research and practice. So in this way, educators really, as early adopters, are essential leaders in quality AI integration discourse and practices in higher education and K-12 learning as well. Philosophical perspectives can help inform the ethical challenges of integrating Gen AI in educational practices. So scholars have drawn on Aaron to consider totalitarian elements of AI, and they've also noted the most important insight concerning TPACK in the age of Gen AI is philosophical in nature. So these technologies require a shift in perspective from a mere utilitarian technological approach to a relational one. And particularly the philosophical work of post-phenomenologist Don Eide described technologies as cultural instruments and how our human-technology relations are experienced through embodiment, hermeneutic, alterity, and background relations. This points to the potential of Gen AI developments to shape our experiences, which can influence self-perceptions that alter our perceived existence. So more research, of course, is needed, grounded in these philosophical perspectives on ethical issues and challenges in educational Gen AI. While AI in education has been around for many, many years, Gen AI is still underutilized in education. So scholars have conducted a systematic review, and they've categorized AI research into 4 areas: profiling and prediction, intelligent tutoring systems, assessment and evaluation, and adaptive systems and personalization. They discovered there's very little evidence for the advancement of pedagogical and psychological learning theories related to AI-driven educational technology. So Gen AI in education is still in its nascent stage. And as such, the potential for applications of this new transformative technology is still really unknown. A critical lens is necessary when engaging with such a powerful, disruptive technology. Gen AI fluency, literacy, knowledge, and skills will become essential in K-12, higher ed, and workplace learning. TPACK offers a familiar model to frame conversations and explore possibilities. So inviting Gen AI as a collaborator is one way of beginning discussions and explorations into the innovative ways educators and teacher educators in particular can harness this transformative technology. So thank you so much, and please reach out if you have any questions, okay? Looking forward to continuing the conversation with you. Take good care.